Hi everyone, welcome back and thank you so much for checking out what we have in store in the 2017 Tarot Mastery Circle this year. Right now we do have a special enrollment price available for the first 75 students. And what is really special about the Mastery Circle this year is that you're also going to get instant access to 3 full courses that are going to lead you through studying the tarot from beginner status all the way through to some quite advanced work during the year. You're going to be up and running right away as a pretty accomplished tarot card reader in a very short amount of time, because we're going to give you instant access first of all to Tarot for Beginners. Now, Tarot for Beginners is a course that I normally sell for $97 all by itself, and it leads you through 16 or so hours of instruction. I recorded it initially as a weekend workshop, a weekend intensive where people came in knowing nothing about the tarot and left at the end of the weekend very competent and very able to continue to do tarot readings for themselves and other people. Many people have gone on to become tarot card readers and intuitives in their own right, and integrating the work of the tarot into practices that they might already have been doing. A lot of my students integrate the tarot and intuitive work into counseling sessions, yoga sessions, body work, and energy sessions that they do with their own clients. Tarot for Beginners is a great resource. It does mean you can be an absolute beginner, a novice at the tarot when you get started, and you get instant access to that. So you can go through Tarot for Beginners at your own pace. You don't necessarily have to have gone through Tarot for Beginners to enjoy the weekly classes that are going to go in depth in that sacred year style that we'll be exploring more later on. We get these weekly workshops going on for you throughout 2017, in addition to these 3 full courses that you start out with in their entirety. The other course that you get instant access to that I haven't had a chance to discuss in this video much with you yet is the Chakra Intuition System. Now, this course builds on some initial work to do with tapping into your intuition that we start to explore when we explore the tarot. What we do in addition to that in the Chakra Intuition System is we take the knowledge that we have that the intuition gets activated when certain circuits of energy, subtle body energy, get activated in our human energy systems. And we look at the connections there between the tarot, between what you can learn with your intuition, especially when you start doing intuitive readings, and we guide you through doing those, when you connect vibrationally and energetically to very specific areas of your subtle body energy. And the subtle body energy, or the subtle body field of energy, in India we call that field of energy collectively the energy of prana. In more ancient Eastern, Far Eastern traditions, energy medicines, Chinese medicine and so on, this is the same force that is called life force energy, or qi. So we look at this in the Chakra Intuition System because what I found over 20 years of studying the tarot alongside my other expert discipline of yoga is that there are connections between tarot cards and certain vibrational experiences that the human energy body can experience, or the human energy body can sometimes hold. And there's work to do with connecting to energetic experience that can very powerfully influence how well you're manifesting what you want out of life. So the Chakra Intuition System is useful for manifesting. It's also useful for looking at things that might be expressing even in the physical body or the energetic body, and getting some specificity on why those things are manifesting by connecting the chakra system and the human energy system not only to intuitive readings and practices, that we teach you to do once you've had experience in some energy connection sessions that we'll be teaching you. But we also look at specific tarot wisdom and tarot cards as archetypes in this course. And what an archetype is basically a universal enough experience that we can tap into an archetypal experience. For instance, an experience, let's say, of abundance, if you've never actually experienced financial abundance in your own life. If you can figure out how to energetically connect to the experience of abundance manifesting, your vibration is therefore going to be lifted into a state where it's much easier for you to manifest abundance in your own actual real life. And there are tarot studies that correspond to that we'll be looking at, as well as connecting energetically to certain vibrational frequencies, for instance, like the frequency of abundance, for instance. There are over 80 different vibrations that we sort of map out across the entire human energy field, chakra by chakra in the intuition system. But let's take abundance as the example here. And once we have done an energy connection session for that vibration, it is much, much easier for your intuition to then get a really powerful intuitive read on the scenario surrounding that vibration for you individually, for you uniquely. So after our energy connection sessions in the chakra intuition system, you'll find instructions and diagrams in an 80-page manual to guide you through doing intuitive readings for each of these specific vibrations, and either your relationship to manifesting them in your life or a client's or someone you're working with. Now, the sacred year we've talked a little bit about already. I'm not going to talk about it too much more here. It is the third full course that you do receive instant access to. One thing that I don't have written on the slide that's on the screen right now, actually, is that the sacred year is also coming with a companion workbook guide that you get to instantly access and download right now. That's already in there, available for you, in addition to the sessions that have taken place already in 2017. What we're doing is we're basically walking through the calendar year here together. And what you get to do as you go through the year is you get to connect with each of the tarot cards at the specific time of year that is most energetically connected to that card's experience, to that card's energy. Each portion of the year, just like portions of the year are allotted to certain zodiac signs that they correspond in the heavens with, each portion of the year is also, it has cards corresponding to it as well, tarot card images, because the tarot is based basically on the ancient map of life, and this includes the course of the sacred year of the planet Earth and our connection to those rhythms of time. So these become very special times to study the tarot in a lot more specific detail than we get a chance to do in that first immersion course, Tarot for Beginners. Tarot for Beginners teaches you patterns. It does teach you how to memorize quote-unquote meanings of the tarot cards without any actual memorization, because the patterns we're going to learn are going to be pretty much like an experience of remembering for you, just based on the fact that you're a human, and the experiences and the patterns we're going to be pointing out to you are ones that you will have had an experience of, because every human does. That's the special thing about the tarot. So it becomes very easy and possible to learn how to read and recognize the meanings that the tarot can hold for you individually in a very short time, a weekend's worth of time in that first course. What we are going to do in the sacred year is we're going to take this training a step beyond what you have been able to do so far by guiding us through the calendar year and bringing those connections in a very powerful way because of the timing of the workshops we're going to be doing in there. So along with all of the courses, and the Sacred Year, by the way, you're going to get the experience, even if you're joining us later on in 2017 and you don't catch this in the first week of January. The Sacred Year is going to be a course where whenever you are enrolled, you are going to receive 12 months of weekly workshops from us. So you will be taken through the entire year and through the entire deck of tarot cards as we go through that year for an in-depth advanced study in both. Now, the other thing that you get when you get the Sacred Year enrollment is you get the previous recordings from the course. So between those 3 full courses, all of these courses are essentially selling for $97 on average individually. So you've got a $300 package right here with the full courses before we look at all of the other sign-up bonuses that you get when you join the Mastery Circle today. In addition to these 3 full courses, you get the 3 companion guides. To go along with Tarot for Beginners, you'll find access to a downloadable PDF healing notebook called the Tarot Healing Notebook. In this notebook, in this PDF, you'll find me referring to this notebook as we go through Tarot for Beginners and a lot of the other courses. I refer back to this too, because in this notebook, I've gone ahead and created, over the years of studying, 20 or so years of studying the tarot alongside energy work and yoga, I've got a complete affirmation in that healing guidebook for each of the 78 tarot cards. So it's a very useful guidebook, because what can happen there is, even if you're a completely beginner reader and you're exploring your intuition and you're getting into your intuitive practices and your energetic practices that complement you becoming a masterful intuitive, but tarot's fairly new for you. If you do a tarot card reading and you want something immediately to do or to change based on the reading that you've got, you can go to the Tarot Healing Notebook. You can look up, you can reference each of the tarot cards in your reading, and you can find a complete, specific, unique affirmation for the energies of each of those tarot cards. So becoming a tarot healer is sort of a next step then that happens after you become a tarot intuitive. So you can do intuitive readings about what's going on. The Tarot Healing Notebooks allows you to actually do something about what you read about, to actually change your life, to start looking at creating, manifesting out of your tarot readings. So that's the first notebook that you get to download as soon as you enroll today. The second is the Chakra Life System Workbook, which is that 80 or so page workbook that I was talking about a little bit earlier. The Chakra Life System Workbook has energy activation sessions for each of the individual chakras, and within the chakras, individual vibrational experiences. Every chakra has a different amount of these vibrations. I call them key vibrations allotted to it. It's always somewhere between about 6 and about 20 or so, depending on the chakra we're looking at. But for each of those key vibrational experiences that reside for us humans within a certain sphere, a certain chakra of our energy body, for each of those, you will find an energy activation session for each of those, and also for the elements. You'll find diagrams of these in the Chakra Intuition System Workbook and Guidebook. And then the other thing that you get, in addition to the Chakra Intuition System Workbook, is you get the Chakra Life System Workbook. I don't actually have all of this typed on this page. There are actually 2 workbooks you get with the Chakra Intuition System. The first shows you all of the readings that you can do for these vibrational experiences, and the second, the Chakra Life System Workbook, includes energy activation sessions for each of the individual chakras and also for each of the 5 elements. And these are useful to have in PDF format, even though you're going to be receiving tons and tons of video-based trainings from me, where you'll be listening to my voice and looking at a screen like you are right now. A lot of these become interactive, and after you've gone through these sessions, these intuitive readings that I'll help you bring through a first time, or the energy connection sessions that we do occasionally, you don't necessarily always have to follow along with the activation, by pressing play. and listening to me go through it at my pace. In the future, you'll be able to refer back to these notebooks and workbooks and pick up and do these at your own pace and integrate them into your own work. So that's why I like to give you these PDF downloads. So we've already talked about one PDF workbook here that wasn't listed. That one also retails for $55 by itself ordinarily. And the other one that we briefly talked about that you also get here is the companion guidebook for the Sacred Year, which is the course that's ongoing, but you get a lot of amazing stuff like the guidebook and the previously recorded sessions coming into the year in the Sacred Year as well. So there are actually 4 companion guidebooks and notebooks, workbooks that you get included with these 3 full courses here. So all in all, we've got about $500 or so of courses and materials there for you. Now, something really exciting that I'm adding in for each of our first 75 enrollments in the Mastery Circle. And if you're able to view and listen to this video, we do still have some of those 75 spots available right now. I'll do a new video when they're gone. So right now, if you enroll in the Tarot Mastery Circle for 2017, you're also going to get a complete private reading, a private consultation session with me. It's a full 75-minute VIP consult. And what we're going to do for you in that time together, and we'll be able to call if you're in the United States, or I can even set up a teleseminar, a private event if you need to call in another way. We can also Skype. We'll arrange how to meet in the best way for you once you've enrolled. Once you're in with me and you're on my schedule, and you'll be chatting to me live most of the time here, although if it's completely impossible to find a time that works for you, my schedule is pretty accommodating because I do these limits, like 75 people in, so that I make sure I have space for everyone. But if for some reason that doesn't work out for you, we can also do this private consult via email, and I'll do a reading back for you, showing you the images that I bring forward with the tarot cards in these intuitive readings, and I'll put that in a video if all else fails for you. What we're going to be doing together during that 75 minutes, it actually extends to 90 minutes sometimes. It can go a little bit longer than 75 minutes, especially if you've never had a reading with me before, because in your first ever session with me, we'll cover some basics that you should just sort of know about yourself in tarot language as well. Like everyone has a birth card based on a numerological calculation that we'll do together, and we'll make sure we've got that basic knowledge on you from just looking at your birth date and chatting for a couple of minutes. Then once we're ready, we're going to go ahead and bring forward an annual Zodiac reading for you, and this is a pretty big reading. It's 12 whole cards of information, and I'll be using all sorts of different tarot decks to read for you. I have a collection of several dozen tarot decks after 20 years of doing readings, and we'll go through and choose some tarot decks that feel very connected for you, and then we'll bring through this annual Zodiac reading. And this is really a predictive reading where we're going to be looking at the year ahead for you in terms of a tarot card reading. And we'll chat about that for a while. And then based on how you're doing with that reading and the questions that you then have after we've chatted for a while, you also get to either have a Celtic cross reading or a 7 chakra reading after that to make up the complete 75-minute to 90-minute session there. And I'll chat more to you once we're actually in our VIP consult together about which of those is a better choice for you. It'll definitely depend on what we see as things that you want to focus on and ask questions on when we bring forward the Zodiac reading. So that's how that's going to happen. And that 75 to 90-minute VIP consult that I do for my mastery students usually now retails for $497. So getting this just included because you're one of the first 75 into the Tarot Mastery Circle this year is a steal, and it's just a wonderful benefit that I get to do just for the 75 first people in. Okay, now let me talk just a little bit more about what else you get when you sign up for your membership. You're also going to get a membership in our private online group where we all get together on social media. It's a private Facebook group, and this is going to give you a chance to get weekly interaction directly with me. I'm actually in that group typing with our members, but it is private, just for our members. And then we actually do readings from time to time. We'll do little live sessions, and we'll also be posting all of the upcoming courses in that Mastery Circle group for you, so that you can comment and ask questions directly in that very interactive social media format of a Facebook group. I found this is just a really great way to stay in touch with you guys as students, and I'm on there mostly every day, a lot of the time. I guarantee I'm on there at least weekly. Most of the time these days I'm in there, and you can get an answer from me on anything you ask pretty much within 24 hours. So getting into this private group with me is also pretty much the fastest, quickest, easiest way to guarantee that you'll get a hold of me. So along with this private membership in the online group, we're going to be doing weekly new masterclasses all year long. Now, I've talked a bit about that because we've been talking about the sacred year and the format of doing in-depth looks at all of the 78 tarot cards. In these workshops, we're going to be looking at one or two or just a handful of tarot cards in these workshops that we'll be having all year long, and we'll be exploring the themes of those cards. We'll be doing energy connections for those cards, and in this way we'll be looking at each of the cards for a good hour or so. So this is a very immersive, advanced program of study. You don't need to come in and do these in any particular order. You can dive right into whatever week is current when you join us. All of the previous week's recordings are going to be there for you in recording as well. What we're going to be doing in those workshops, specifically in Advanced Tarot and Intuitive Arts, is we're going to be including readings for everyone in our Mastery Circle. You're going to get a chance from time to time, and we'll chat about this in the Facebook group with you, and you'll also get emails from me from time to time prompting you to put in reading requests. And these reading requests, they're not as big as the full private 75-minute session that you get with me, but every week in this way, you'll understand what the themes of the week's cards are a little bit before you view all of the workshop material. And you'll go through the workshop, and then if you have some questions that you feel would be perfect, intuitive readings to do around the themes that we're exploring that week, you put in your reading request submission. And what I then do is I do example readings using just my Mastery Circle members, your requests in this way, and you actually get individual readings from me. The benefit for the entire group with these example readings, though, is that you guys as a whole get to look over the shoulders and learn advanced tarot reading by seeing actual real life readings done and explained to you. And so this serves a couple of benefits for our group, and the main benefit there is you get all of this practice in intuitive reading, which is really the one thing that no matter how much you study, if you don't have the practical experience of reading and doing readings, observing readings, you're only ever going to be able to advance so far as an intuitive reader. So this is just the best way that I have found over the years of really teaching advanced reading, is by actually having my students be the example readings for the entire student group. It's a very enriching program for everyone. So you get that included in your Mastery Circle membership as well. The collected video classes will later be compiled into the course materials for some new courses, Healing with the Archetypes and the Sacred Year. You'll have access to both of those too when you come on board. Right now, you can get everything included in the Mastery Circle, the $500 of courses and materials and everything you get for the classes, the 500 or so session with me privately, the private intuitive consult, and 52 weeks of being included in this group with the sessions that are happening every single week, and every single week getting that chance to get an in-depth, more advanced quick reading from me. So everything included here, if you add it all up, is about $1,500 of courses, classes, readings, and so on and so forth with me. Right now, if you're one of the first 75 people to take advantage of joining the Mastery Circle this year, you're going to get everything included here for just $197 total. That's only one payment. It's all done. You're set up for the entire year. You get to book your private session with me. You get instant access to those 3 courses and the 4 workbooks to download. And you get in for the full year of masterclasses, weekly masterclasses and readings with me, all for just $197. So that's pretty exciting. It is only going to be available for the first 75 people to snap that up. What you're probably going to see on this page, right below this video somewhere, is a button that says something like buy now, probably. And if you see that button, you know there's one of these 75 spots left. You click through on that. Be sure when you're ordering that you use the email address that you want all of your access links and membership invites and things like that to be sent to immediately after purchasing. If you stay in the window where you've just purchased, you will be taken directly to a central access page that gives you all of those links right away. So I'm very excited to have the first 75 of 2017 join us here today. Thank you so much for checking out the program. I'm just going to go back to this screen here, which is a lot of writing. I know it just is basically all of the benefits that I've been talking about here together. Go ahead and click through on that Buy Now button if you'd like to enroll. Thanks for joining me and have a wonderful year.